Hello everyone, welcome to Zaref Game Dev, and in this video we are going to add the sounds to our game, and this is going to last part for creating the complete game in offline series. And after that I am going to try to add the Google Play services and the leaderboards and achievements. So for adding the sounds to the game, it's going to be pretty just woke up, so I'm a little bit sleepy right now. So it's going to be pretty easy. So we'll create an empty and we are going to call Sound Manager. And for this Sound Manager, it's going to be inside our main menu scene. So let's create an empty and we'll call it Sound Manager. You can also call it Audio Manager or whatever you want, and it's going to have a SoundManager script. And we are also going to create one more script which I am just going to copy paste it, which is called the vibrator, and this is going to detect the vibrations for our not detect set up the vibrations for our mobile device. And I just copy pasted it from the net. So let's go inside of Visual Studio and let's first paste up our vibrator script. So as you can see, it's pretty much what I got from the internet. And let's also open our sound manager, and we are not going to edit the scripts right now, but first let's create our sound sources, and let's also add our sound manager script. So inside our sound manager, let's create first music source, and we are going to attach the music source to the sound manager. And let's add an audio source component, and inside this audio source let's set the volume to 0.6, and loop we are going to set to on, play on awake is also set to on. Then the audio we are going to use is what we have downloaded from the Unity asset store. So there are a couple of free ones on the Unity asset store and I got it from there. And the next one is for the effect source, and this one, the play on awake and loop, both are set to off, and we are not going to pass anything else. And now let's go inside of Visual Studio and let's start editing our sound manager script. So for our sound manager script, we are going to have a serialized field for the audio sources. So let's create first a public static sound manager instance. And let's remove the underscore, and inside our awake we are going to just if instance is equals to null, then instance is going to be this. Don't destroy and load again. And we are just going to destroy the game object. So this will have only one sound manager in our scene. And after that, inside our awake, let's just set player prefs dot set int, and we are going to set the constants dot settings dot settings music, to let's first set it to 0 for now. So everything's muted. So the second one is for the sound, and the last one's for the shake. And we are going to get it as a property. Afterwards, let's create a serialized field, private audio source, and the first one is for the music source, and the next one is for the effect source. And after creating both these two sources, let's also create a serialized field, private audio clip, and this one is going to be for the click sound, and we are going to have it mm, we are going to have the click sound attached over every button, and we'll do it directly from our sound manager. So the first property is going to be is music muted, and similarly it's going to have a getter and a setter. And I don't think we'll need anything else. So inside our getter, we are going to return is music muted. And before returning that, is music muted is going to be set to player prefs dot has key, and if it has the key of constants dot settings dot music, and if it uh, has that key, then it's going to set to player prefs dot getInt, and we are going to get the constants dot settings dot music, and let's have it here. And if that value is equals to 0, so not 0, yep, it is 0. So settings music is set to 1, that means it is on, and if it is 0, that means it is muted, so it will return to. And inside our set, we are going to set the is music muted to value, and player prefs dot setInt, and we are going to set the constants dot settings music to if the music is muted, then we are setting it to 0. Hmm, hmm, hmm. If the value is true, then it is muted, then we'll set to 0, else we'll set to 1. So this should set up our music muted, and we are going to copy our music muted, and we are going to use as is effect muted. So is effect muted. So let's set it up, effect muted, and here is effect muted is going to be settings effect, or just sound. And let's use the setting sound if it is 0, and we are going to use is effect muted. Setting sound and is effect muted. So mostly setting up we are not going to use it, we are going to directly change our is effect muted. And we are also setting up, maybe we'll use it, but who knows. And the last value it's going to be for our is shake muted. And instead of is effect muted, we need to use is shake muted. And let's use the settings shake, and return is shake muted. And also in our player settings we'll use the settings shake, and instead of is effect muted, is shake muted will be set to value. And inside our awake function, we are going to set to is music muted, and if it is muted then we are going to set to 0, as we are going to set to 1. And let's copy this, and let's set is shake muted, and the next one is sound muted, is effect muted. So we are just directly going to use the properties, and we'll use effect source dot mute is going to be is effect muted, and music source dot mute is going to be is music muted. So it will automatically mute them. And let's also start the function add button sounds, and we'll need to create the function. And inside this function we are just going to where buttons is going to be find objects of type button. And to use the buttons we'll need to use the using unity engine dot UI. And we are going to get all our button, and for each where item in our buttons, for each of the item, so item dot click, item dot on click, and on click we are going to add listener. And the parameters we are going to pass on nothing, but the value we are going to use is we'll need to create the function. So let's create a play sound, and the value we are going to pass is the click sound. And we'll need to create the play sound function. So in the play sound we are just going to use effect source dot play one shot, and we are going to play one shot whatever the sound is there. And here we add use click, but we'll just use clip. And let's also create functions to toggle our sound. And this play sound is going to be public function, so instead of private we are going to use public. And the next public function, not again private. This one is also going to be public because we are going to be calling when the game manager scene is loaded. So let's create public void, and this function is going to be called when the effect is changed. So let's do uh, set music, and inside our set music, as we are done, music source dot mute is going to be is music muted, and we'll also use the effect source, and it's going to be is effect muted, and instead of set music we are just going to use the set effect, and the last is going to be the public void. Mm, mm, mm. Play one shot, and before that we're just going to check if is effect muted, then we are going to return because there is no sound. And the last one is the public void vibrate, and first thing we'll check if is shake muted, then we are just going to return, else we are just going to call vibrator dot vibrate. So that should do for everything, and we need to attach both the sources to the effect source and also the audio clip. So let's add the music source and the effect source, and from our resources we will also add the click sound, and now our effect should be working fine. So as you can see we are able to have the sound, and we are also able to have the settings, but the settings are currently not working because we didn't set it up, and we need to reset the settings whenever we click. So we'll go inside Visual Studio, and let's go inside our uh, menu manager, and inside our menu manager whenever we are clicking the sound, we are just going to do SoundManager dot instance dot set music, and similarly when we are clicking the switch sound we'll also use the set effect, and the last one is going to be uh, set shake. uh, I think set shake will be not needed because uh, it's always going to check for the condition. So let's delete it. And the music source needed to be muted, but the next one should be not. And let's go inside Unity and let's hit play. And whenever we click on it, as you can see, we have the sound is working fine. And there is a problem with our find. So if the game object is already active, then only it is going to add the button sound, and if it is deactivated it's not going to add. So we are going to have a parameter, so the parameter is going to be false include inactive, and maybe it should be true. Nah, yeah, it should be true. So by default it is false, so now we can also have the sound attached on our inactivated object. So let's hit click. So as you can see, you cannot hear the click sound when it is not pressed, and The click sound is currently pressed, and if we hit play, the click sounds are not added here. So we'll also add the click sound in our game manager and inside our start function. So at the end, we are going to use sound manager dot instance dot add button sounds. So it should add up all of our sounds, and after that let's first add the coin sound because it's just going to be added once. And at the end of the start, we are just going to use sound manager dot instance dot play sound, and we are going to use the coin clip, so it's going to automatically add the coin sound. And the next sound is the explosion sound when the player collides with each other, so it's going to be inside our explosion. So when we start on collision, enter 2D tag, and every event is called at the end, we are going to spawn the explosion sound. So sound manager dot instance dot play sound, and it's going to be the bomb clip. And also inside our no, not in here, but whenever we are having with the bomb. So whenever it is going to be with the bomb, it's going to play the bomb clip. And similarly, inside our player, we are also going to play the bomb clip. Now, not more sounds will be needed. And let's now go inside Unity and let's see how our sounds are working. So if we hit play, we are able to play all of the sounds. So let's mute the music for now. So whenever collides, enemy cars collides with each other. So as you can see, we got the bomb sound. And I think we didn't get the coin clip because we have not set it up. So let's see why I didn't get the coin clip. So inside our prefabs resources, so as you can see, we have not set up our coin clip. So that's why we are not able to have it lesson. And if we directly, okay, so it's going to play it from our main menu. So the sound manager is not attached inside our. So as you can see, the coin was also played, and now we can have different sounds in our game. So that was it for the sounds video, and the sound is still too much high, so we'll try to decrease it. And that was it for this video. Now let's have the volume. The music should be a little bit higher, but the this one volume, it's, let's decrease it a little bit. And in the next video, we are going to publish this game as a testing app to the Play Store and also add the Google Play services to the scene. So if you watched till now, thank you guys for watching, and that was the end for this video, and see you guys in the next video.